to my live stream. So I want to give everybody a round of applause. We're on Wednesday today, halfway to the weekend. So, we have to wait for the 30 mark. And we're going to cause real problems today. Real problem. Like Doug said, we're always going to cause some real problem.
There goes Dust. He's been after me for the longest time. I know you're there to cause problems, dude. I know.
So today, I want to kill time. So I find the past 2 days about Jason Faunt. So he did. Let me find it. I have it. So let me get started. So today, or past 2 days, I was looking at some Power Ranger content, and this bring up my attention. Fox 11 News LA. I watch Fox 11 LA in the morning too before going to have my breakfast. So Jason Faunt, a Power Ranger legend in Hollywood Dream, and a new film, and old friends in the set. I know he's Jason David Frank friend. Now doing Ben and the Sun at Batman. So let's roll the clip. For use.
Jason, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Jason Faunt, and I'm an actor.
Have you ever Googled yourself?
Unfortunately, yes. I've done it a few times, but more to just show my daughters that their dad is kind of a big deal, which of course they never buy into.
I'm going to ask you guys, do you Google yourself also? Sometimes I Google myself, but there's not a lot of information about me. If you Google Brent Fam, there are a lot of Brent Fam in the internet, for example. So,
Ever lied during an interview?
No, although I did just look away when I said that, but no, I've never lied during an interview.
Last lie you told?
I want to ask you guys, do you ever lie in an interview before? For me, I never lie in an interview before because let me tell you my period job. I used to work at Kmart. I used to work Amazon. So forth. That's I've been working lately. I've been working like 2 jobs in my life, but I've been working with my parents a lot.
Last lie I told. I don't know. I figured it was a white lie to protect my daughters on something.
I ever lied to somebody before? Certain people I don't like.
Yeah, so something like that.
You know who lied the most? Brokeback Ricky Ranger.
When acting took over, how hard was it to walk away from baseball?
Oh, that for some reason is listed wrong. I played college. I played professional baseball. I was actually released. So whoever put that on there said that I gave it up for acting. It's not true. Baseball kicked me out. And then I packed up my bags and moved out here. So it wasn't that hard.
When was the first time you knew you wanted to act?
I was a sophomore in high school, and I gotten sick, like a flu or a pneumonia or something like that.
An actor, where you want to be an actor, or you can any career you want to be. Like for example, for me, I want to be a teacher or a counselor since sixth grade.
And that was the back in the days where we had Blockbuster. So my parents, my mom and stepdad both worked. They rented a movie called Risky Business.
I want to ask, who went to Blockbuster back in the day? You know, I did to rent some video games and some movies.
And I had never seen it before. I was a sophomore in high school. And I just thought that looked like it'd be so much fun. And I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. Risky Business took place in the suburbs of Chicago. And when I saw that, I went, I've got this, at the time I was a 3-sport athlete and baseball player and wanted to go play baseball. And I thought, whenever I'm done playing ball, I'm going to pack up my bags and move to California and be an actor. And it happened right there my sophomore year of high school.
How scary was it to show up in LA with only $1,500 and a dream?
I don't know. I was fearless. I don't know. I packed up an old pickup truck and I moved out here. I had a free place to live for 3 months. And I was fearless. So I should have been scared, but I wasn't. And it turned out okay.
Craziest thing about your first days in Hollywood?
Oh, man. I guess there's some great questions. Crazy.
I should add you danger because you being a lot in Hollywood stuff. That'll be a great question that you danger about this.
I think my first day in Hollywood. You know what? I think for me, I was a huge Seinfeld fan, and I lucked into a job working at Gladstone's in Malibu. I think it's still called that. And I got a chance to meet Jason Alexander. There's always big celebrities in there, so I got a chance to meet a lot of these people. So as a young guy moving out from the Midwest to see these people and talk to them, that was pretty cool to have conversations with Kramer I met there and Jason Alexander, to name a few.
One thing your past self wouldn't believe about your life now?
I'm an action figure. I loved collecting action figures. I was a big Star Wars fan. And when I moved out to Los Angeles, I didn't think about being superheroes or anything in that genre. But when Power Rangers happened, it of course changed my life. But to have your own action figure, I don't think I ever would have believed that.
What was your reaction when you booked the Red Ranger?
Oh, man, I remember exactly where I was. I was going down Laurel Canyon on the way to Hollywood. And I did have a cell phone at the time, which was kind of new. And I pulled over and they told me I booked it. I had read for that role the 2 previous seasons. And of course, I'd done some soap opera work. So I started working a little bit. But I remember in my car and I was screaming. I was screaming in the car. Someone probably thought I was having a heart attack. But I remember exactly where I was and I remember exactly what I did. And it was pretty exciting.
What color ranger did you want to be?
Red Ranger.
What's one behind the scenes moment from your time?
Just for fun. You want to be the Red Ranger, Red Ranger, you want to be the leader. I would pick, what color should I pick if I was a Power Ranger? I would say a Red Ranger because becoming a leader, you have a great responsibility, and you have to lead a team. For me, I will. You know why? Because in my university, I went university or community college, because I was involved in student government, and I was one of the VP of relations, and ICC represented like a charge like 12 clubs or 24 clubs for asking for funding, so they're gonna do like events around campus. For relations, it's for like more like social media, marketing, promoting, a lot of great stuff.
as the Red Ranger that fans would be shocked to hear about?
Behind the scenes moment. During filming or after?
Either.
Either. Okay. I think during filming, Robert De Niro sent his kids to set to meet us. That was pretty cool. He had the security came. His kids were big fans of the show, his twins. So having them come there was a pretty cool situation. He actually couldn't make it that day, but the kids did. So we had lunch with them, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then off camera, gosh, I mean, the appearances in the Comic-Cons we do now. I mean, I just got back from Singapore less than 24 hours ago. So to travel the world, to meet all these fans that you made huge impacts on their life, the stories you hear are exciting and also heartbreaking. So to have to hear those stories from all these kids all over the world is pretty cool.
There have been several actors who have played the Red Ranger. Who do you think did it best?
Me. I always will.
Who is the best Red Ranger leader? You know, he had to say himself because he played as the Red Ranger Time Force. What do you all think about it? Who was the best Red leader? I would say, man, their color for Donald Charger. The worst Red leader will be Andrew Gray. I had Troy for Super Mega Force. And I would say the best Red leader will be Man, that's a great thing. I need to think a lot. I will come back to that question to myself.
Tip my hat to the original Red Ranger, Austin St. John. He's the guy that started it off. So I'll always nod my head to that. I'll kind of wink and nod and say it's me. But our season was very popular. But Austin's the guy that kicked it off. So I'll always say him.
Be honest. Did you keep the suit?
Well, the suit, that's an interesting story. So when we left the set, we got nothing. They did not want to have us take any of the props or things.
You know who took their suit? Jason David Frank. Because it's my suit. No, just kidding. But Jason David Frank did it. He took the suit.
And we didn't think there'd be any value to it during the time. We didn't think that it would be what it is today. So no, I didn't get to keep the suit. However, literally a year ago, almost to the date, they did a huge auction. And Power Rangers auctioned off all the stuff from the show. And I bought my suit. It cost me thousands and thousands of dollars. But I got my suit. It's in a mannequin in my office now. So I had to pay for it, but I got it.
Craziest fan interaction you've ever had?
Oh my gosh. Ones that I can say on here, right? You know what? It's since it just happened a couple of days ago, I'll mention this one. And I wouldn't say crazy. There's been a lot of fun, crazy things. But in terms of amazing stories, I had a girl write me a letter. She came up to me and no, I'm going to tell a different one. I'm going to expound on this. This happened in Dallas. I went to a signing. There was this big guy. There was a cop. And he came up to me and he doesn't fit the normal profile of kind of the Comic-Con world. And he came up to me and had tears in his eyes. He said, Jason, I'm an officer here in Dallas. And I wanted to let you know that you mean the world to me. My brother and I watched your show. And when the ending episode happened, he said, don't watch the ending without me. And he was on one of the planes for 9/11. And his brother died that day. Now, this guy was a cop. He's got tears in his eyes. And this story always brings tears in my eyes, too, because it's interesting. And he said after that, he had such a hatred for certain people because of that, because that he felt that they were responsible for his brother. And he had hatred. But the ending of our show talks about not treating people different because they look differently than you. There's a huge thing about discrimination and hate on there, and a huge lesson in this kid's show. And he said eventually he got the gumption to watch the show, saw the ending, and then was at peace with a certain segment of people because he blamed them for the loss of his brother, and it helped him get through that loss. And this was like a couple years ago. And I'll always remember that story amongst many of feeling good about what you did. But the ending of that show helped get him over that and create some of the hatred he had for a certain bit of the population.
Your very first audition ever. Did you nail it?
What was that first audition ever? I can't remember, but I remember I read for Wedding Crashers that Bradley Cooper got. That's one of the ones that got away from me. So that's the one
I'm gonna ask, who watched The Wedding Crasher? I never watch it, but I need to watch it in one of my movie lists.
always think about. I don't remember my first audition, but I would say probably not.
One project you said no to and regret.
Oh man, I don't know that I've ever been in that position where you just say no to stuff. I can't think of, you're lucky when you can work, and I've been very fortunate in the project. So I can't think of anything offhand that I said no to and regretted.
Do you have a casting horror story?
A casting horror story. Gosh. I think there's a few where I remember one time I went to casting and I parked in one of the executive spots. And when I came back, they had just parked behind me. So I was walled in. And I remember thinking, okay, this can't go well. But I didn't know where to park and I was running late. So I just parked in the spot and it was one of theirs. So I think that was probably the best casting horror story. And I did not take that spot.
If acting suddenly vanished, what would you be doing?
I always wanted to be a high school football coach. I loved my time being a high school football player. It was a kind of a magical moment in a young man's life. And I love football. So I think the pure.
Great point. So for me, if a teacher wasn't as or counseling wasn't as it, what career should I be? I'll be a YouTuber. Or make videos.
Of high school football, I would probably do that.
You star in the short film An Old Friend. Describe the film in 3 words.
One last chance.
What made you say yes to the role?
Well, the script came in at a real high level, winning this. There's a Seattle Film Summit. They deal with the script writing contest where they won this contest. So everybody knew the script was special and different. When I read it, and the ending I did not see coming at all. It blew me away, brought me to tears immediately, which is not something that I do much. So the ending came out of nowhere. So I read it right away. I'm like, I'm in. This is amazing. I wasn't used to doing short films. It's not something I've done much of. But this thing was so well written, we had to do it. In there, it deals with loss. It deals with, I guess I can say now kind of what the loss and one last chance. I feel like when your loved one passes away, which was happening to me at the same time with my father, everything kind of came in. You long for that one more moment with them, whether it's going to a ball game or having a catch or whatever it is you do with that parent when they pass. You want that one last chance to do it again. And this movie kind of deals in that world. So.
I never watched that movie or show, but if you're one of your family or loved one that passed away, if you go back, spend one last moment, will be for me spending time with my mom or my dad.
One thing you learned from working with Tom Skerritt.
I think the stories. It's pretty cool to have someone with that kind of history, to listen to their stories, learn from them, watch what they do. So I think just soaking in the knowledge.
What do you hope people feel after watching it?
Well, I think it's the age-old advice of living in the moment, enjoying people while we're here, not taking for granted time spent with your loved ones, specifically your parents. Is And as people age and they go through this period of you get older and your health starts to deteriorate, really being there for them. So I think enjoying these moments now while we have them.
What's your favorite childhood memory?
My childhood memory, and this brings me back, is having catch up with my dad. You can see how this affects you.
For me, for my child favorite memory will be back in the days we used to have a arcade building to play video games. Well, no, video game back in the day, or laser tag. But all of them are shut down. That's what's the best childhood memory I have. Or living like my old place I used to live at. See, last time I seen my friends.
Um, my dad and I used to play catch all the time, football. And the first time I made like an over the head catch was a big deal. And I remember where we were. We talked about it all the time. So I think playing catch with my dad.
If you could give advice to your 15-year-old self, what would you say?
Oh, well, I mean, I would say just be fearless. Just take those risks, take those chances, which fortunately I've always done. So,
For me, if I was 15 years old, take an opportunity and keep on going and follow your dream what that you want to be.
take those big swings and not be afraid to make mistakes. I think that would be the big thing I would tell me is not be afraid to make mistakes.
How do you balance dad life and actor life?
I don't know. We have a full-time nanny and that helps tremendously. But I have a 20-year-old, I have an 18-year-old, I have a 2-year-old, and I have a 5-month-old. So I've spread the gamut pretty well. Just trying to be very efficient with your time, getting things done that you need to get done, and then just being there for the kids, which is a huge challenge.
Do your kids watch your old stuff?
They do now. The older ones do now. I think it took them a bit, like anything else. When you're dad, you're still dad. So I was probably their least favorite TV person or Power Ranger. But I think over time they kind of got it. They've gone to some of these shows, seen the crowds, so they've definitely seen it now, and I think they're proud of their dad.
One parenting rule you swear by?
Listen, just listen.
What's your biggest fear in life?
Truthfully, one of my children passing away before me.
A dream you're still chasing?
I don't know. I think as an actor, you're always still chasing the dream. You're always still trying the next job. I think I'd love to be involved in a sports movie, which I'd never have been in. So I think that would be something I'd really enjoy doing.
What's your definition of success?
It's changed over the years, but I think enjoying the metrics of where you are. It's always easy to get caught up. I used to always say, not everybody's Brad Pitt. So I think if you try to compete against someone like that, you're going to find yourself constantly disappointed. But if you enjoy your successes, enjoy how good your life is, and find the positive, you'll always be happy.
If you could have one superpower?
True. Well, stay positive. Receive your goal. Some positive friend. You know who don't have that? Ricky Ranger.
For 24 hours, what would it be and why?
Just be able to fly. Who wouldn't want to fly?
If you had
My superpower will be mind control. Or teleport. Or speed.
to eat one dish forever, what's it going to be?
Steak from Morton Steakhouse.
If your life were a movie, who plays you?
My life were a movie. Who plays me? Wow. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to have an answer for that. I'm trying to think of some young actor, but it's not coming to my head right now. So we'll not for any other reason we'll pass on that one.
A conspiracy theory you actually believe in.
I wonder if we landed on the moon.
What's
I'm watching everyone's reactions right there.
what's a hill you'd die on?
I wonder if we landed on the moon. No, I'm just kidding. A hill that I would die on. Whew, man. Let's see how I can keep this clean. Boy, let's pass on that. Not only because I'm coming up blank.
One thing you want to set the record straight on.
That Power Rangers can act.
One food you absolutely hate.
Anything that still has the eyes on it when it comes to the table.
What's your biggest guilt?
Man, what's my food I don't like to eat? I would say, well, I like food, but there's certain, I'm gonna say like, like mustard, but it's not food, but it's food and like extra topping, but I don't like that. When you're drunk, you eat it anyway, cause you don't know.
Guilty pleasure that you're willing to admit on camera.
You know what? I've got some kind of classic 70s music that I think I wouldn't play in front of anyone, but there's some classic 70s that I do have on my playlist that I probably roll the windows up when they play.
Would you rather time travel to the past or teleport to the future?
Ooh.
I would love a time. I would time travel the past. I would love to see what happened to the dinosaurs. I'd love to find out some of the things that.
I would travel. I would say I would travel in the past, cause I can live the history again. Like, I want to say dinosaur, but I want to say Egypt, the Pharaoh, Caesar, any African American culture like Doctor King, Muhammad, Muhammad Ali, any like great history historian, Moses, Jesus Christ.
kind of shaped our world. So going to the past, I think would be pretty cool.
One thing you wish you were better at.
I think time management now. Being a little more diligent, being off my phone. I think I need to be a little bit better about that.
One thing you're secretly amazing at.
Oh, my workout routine and my diet is pretty spot on. So I've gotten really, really good with that.
Best advice you've ever received.
Wow, so much. I've received a bunch. I'm coming up blank again. I'm gonna answer that one later, but let's move on to the next one. Best advice I ever received.
My best advice that they gave me is Dust and Henry Resilient. Keep on making YouTube channels.
You know what? Okay, I got one. This is talking to Jason Alexander, who played George on Seinfeld at Gladstone's. This is kind of part of that earlier question. When I asked him about what advice do you have for a young actor? I just moved out here from Chicago, and he just said, just keep working. Don't worry about the size of the job or what it is. If it's a mattress commercial, just keep sharpening your tool and get out there. Because the relationships you'll have, the experience you'll get, don't snub your nose at small jobs. And I've always kind of taken that to heart and just worked whenever I could.
Worst advice you've ever received?
Don't be an extra. I think it's good to be on set. People told me when I first moved out here, don't ever be an extra. I got my SAG card because I was an extra on Sunset Beach, because I just went there to watch the professionals, watch what they do, and I wanted to learn. And that led to my first lines because I was there on set.
One vice you're trying to break.
One vice I'm trying to break? Man, I think I drink too much wine. I think I could pull back on that a bit.
If you won an Oscar tomorrow, what's the first thing you'd say?
It's probably a little normal, but I would thank my mother and my father, especially my father, for telling me.
So that's a good one. I would say if we do an Oscar stream with a resilient court, like each streamer get a award, my speech would say, I want to say thank you, mom and dad, for everything you gave me to talk on the microphone, so I can speak clear. And I would say resilient, bitch. I'm out.
To just get out here and chase my dreams.
What do you want your legacy to be?
When people look back, that I was more than a Power Ranger, but the little spot that I filled in the world of superheroes, I made people's lives better.
What do you want the viewers to know?
The viewers to know. What do I want the viewers to know? About me or about life? Is that a thing about Jason Faunt, or is that a thing about
Anything.
anything? Take big swings, and failure is a part of the equation. Embrace failure. That's what makes it stronger. That's what makes it better.
What's your rating of the sit?
Well, I'd say if we go scale 1 to 10, this has been great. I mean, you guys are asking some amazing questions. I thought we just hit the movie and move off, but you're going into a lot of background stuff, which is pretty thorough and something I haven't done before. So yeah, you guys are amazing. Is that, you guys pay the bills here? What's going on here?